All right, so now we go to our main bearings and thrust bearing. So as you heard, crank is great. There's no excessive wear on the thrust surface here, any of the journals, all that is good. A little bit of micro contamination, but it's all gonna come out. But we look over here. I can pretty clearly tell right out of the gate, as soon as I look at this bearing here with the hot spots on the rear section of the thrust side, all these bearings are in order as they came out. This side where my thumb is pointing would be the rear of the car. As you see, the crankshaft is still even facing that orientation. And then following down here, we have cylinder 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So everything is in rear to front configuration. So we look here, we have our rear thrust bearing. There is hot spot here, here, and here, with no wear at the lower section. So I could tell that this is definitely a manual car, as the crankshaft is pushing forwards and trying to lift itself up out of the engine. That's what happens every time you hit the clutch. If you look on this side, there's absolutely no wear. It has that rough surface finish to it. That's how it comes. I'll show you the other side. On the lower section, not where you see the glazing, but on the lower section here, you can see it has that same rough surface finish. So going back to the front, you see there's absolutely no wear on this. That's because the crank pushes that way and it's riding on this side of the thrust, not that one. If it was an auto car, you'd likely have even wear on each side. But yeah, like I said, thrust bearing is a dead giveaway that this was a manual car. That looks okay. A little bit of hot spotting there. Could be caused by a ton of reasons. Dumping the clutch, holding the clutch in too long. Say you come to a red light and you won't be at the red light for long, so you just decide to leave it in first, so to say, and just hold the clutch in. Might not be the best idea. A lot of people do it. I'm guilty of it, but as you see, in terms of engine wear, it does hot spot your thrust bearing. So overall, nothing concerning there. Everything looks good. Top sides of the bearing, bottom sides of the bearing, where the oil galley is located, they all look good. Crank is riding nicely and relatively evenly, except for your front cylinders here. There's a little bit of excessive wear on the second journal out of 7. Not a big deal though. We don't see any copper. Unsure the mileage on the motor at this point, but this would be standard for roughly 75 to 80,000 miles, maybe 50, 60, give or take if it's been driven hard. You see your rear bearing here. There's a large journal in the back. And you can see that this one also has a lot of rear wear to it. Nothing up front, a lot in the rear. Another dead giveaway that this was a manual car. Going to your top side of the bearing. Usually there's not as much wear on this as there is this. So seeing this is a little interesting. There's swirling in these bearings. 2, 3, 4, and a little bit on the 5th journal here. The main, it's not really the best sign when you see this. Another sign of clutch dumps, just inconsistent rotation of the crank. This is also a giveaway of something. Keep in mind, inconsistent rotation of the crank could also be a timing skip. So this kind of indicates where I should be looking out of the gate. So that's pretty much it for your main bearings. We're going to do your rod bearings and pistons next, but main bearings I figured I would do separately since this was a huge indicator of what's going on.